Hey guys, welcome back here to Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys joining me for an on-the-water practice report here at Stockton Lake. I'm up here, I've got my first solo pro series tournament coming up this Sunday, and practice today. Time of filming this video, it's Thursday. Tomorrow I can't practice, and I'm gonna practice again on Saturday. So I'm going to give you guys a rundown how my practice went today and what my plan is for the next practice day. And hopefully this will be a good this will be a good little tutorial on what to do or what not to do based upon how it went. But I'll lay out my practice, how it went today, and talk about the conditions here. Definitely think it might help you guys catch some more fish on your home lake when you hear how the breakdown went here. Also, guys, one quick thing, I wanted to clue you in on a bait guy I've been catching a bunch of fish on lately. You may have seen that on the water video I did last week at Table Rock. Guys, this is that Megabass Super Z2 crankbait in the crawdad pattern here. They make several different crawdad patterns, but this has been one of my most productive crankbaits over the past 3 years. I use the shad patterns in the summer, crawdad patterns in the spring. I put it on 8-pound line, and it'll run about 7 or 8 feet deep. But guys, they love this thing in the springtime of the year, so I'll link this in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video if you guys would like to pick one up. Like I said, they got a bunch of different types of crawdad patterns. Absolutely killer little crankbait here. And also, guys, real quick, if you would like to book an on-the-water lesson with me, a private lesson, just go to my Facebook page, Intuitive Angling with Randy Blaukat. Shoot me a private message, and I'll get you guys lined out with that. And speaking of those on-the-water lessons, that we're up here at Stockton Lake, and this is where I do a lot of my on-the-water lessons. So I'm up here all the time. I fish this lake. It's about probably 45 minutes from my home. And I fished it since I was a teenager, a ton. So I've been on this lake a lot. If you've never heard or been to Stockton Lake, it's about probably 40 miles sort of northwest of Springfield, Missouri. It's a remote lake. It's not built up at all. You can see here, it's maintained the pristineness of it ever since I was a kid, simply because there's really no big towns around it. It's about a 25,000 acre lake, so it's a pretty good size one. And up until about 10 or 15 years ago, there wasn't hardly anybody that fished this lake. It was one of the best kept secrets in the state of Missouri. And then the word got out, and it started getting more busy and busy and busy. And now, like when I launched the boat this morning on Thursday, the lot was completely full of boats. And 15 years ago, I'd come up here on Thursday, and there wouldn't be any boats here. So tell me what's going on with that. I'm not sure. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to the practice. Here's the conditions we got. Water temperatures right here on Stockton right now are in the low 50s. The lake, we had about 2 weeks ago, we had a bunch of rain that brought the lake up and brought some color into it. That's sort of stabilized out right now. Just looking at the bank right now, the lake looks like it's about probably 3 feet below normal or so. Started to stable up, started to clear up a little bit. Fish are definitely in a pre-spawn phase here. Now, today it was sort of hit and miss. I caught 2 or 3 decent fish, like the one you saw in the thumbnail here. But overall, it was pretty tough for me. We didn't have any wind at all. You can see how calm it is right now. It's about, right now at the film this video, it's a little over 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Bright sun today, bluebird conditions, and I was in the cleaner water part of the lake. Water visibility where I was fishing today was probably, 5 foot or so, pretty clear, and which is not real conducive to, the way that I want to fish, which is shallow. Because Stockton, guys, it is a live scope freaking dominated lake. It's like, I literally think I'm the only one that fishes this lake that does not have live scope. You go to any boat ramp here and everybody's live scoping. So to compete against that right now, this is sort of going to be a little bit of a grind for me, because everybody is basically spotlighting with an A-rig and a jerkbait and catching them doing that, which I'm not going to do it. So I have got to find something different as usual. So I went to the cleaner water today. I was really hoping on getting on some type of a big swim bait bite, something like that. It never happened. I did catch my baits on some moving baits today. I didn't slow down to fish very much, but I guess the thing about it is, like, you can't read too much into it, because if I can catch 2 or 3 decent fish in this clear water under these conditions on a moving bait, if I could get some wind or some clouds, it might be really good. You just don't really know. But I wasn't really happy with what I found today. My next practice day is Saturday. I can't practice tomorrow. And I think I'm sort of going to flip and go into a different part of the lake and get into some more off-colored water. Maybe take advantage of some of that, that dirty water that came into the lake in the upper creek arms, and keep trying to catch them shallow, because we're supposed to have, here's another thing about it, guys, in practice. You have to fish for the tournament conditions. You can't practice for the conditions you have the day you're out on practice. So coming up, it's supposed to be in the 80s for the next 3 days. It's supposed to be in the mid 80s on Sunday, the day of the tournament. So this water is going to warm up considerably over the next 2 or 3 days. So I am fishing in anticipation of that water warming, which it's going to, and the bigger fish moving up with that warming water. And while a lot of these guys are going to stay out here and they're going to spotlight off the bank, I think that those fish are going to be going away from them and possibly coming into where I want to fish. You never know, though. I mean, that's just pure speculation. But I think that's the best case scenario for me. If I go up into the dirty water that last day of practice and I don't do any good, I'll probably come back down to where I fished today in that cleaner water where I was getting some more bites, and fish the conditions, maybe adjust my bait color or something, and see how it goes with that. But I don't know, guys. It's just, that's fishing. It's usually always a grind on these public lakes. And like I said, things change day in and day out. You can't, when you're practicing for a tournament, you can't put too much emphasis on what you do in practice, simply because it changes a lot, especially for fishing shallow like I do. So I just, like I said, as well as I know this lake, I know it like the back of my hand, one end from the other. And one of the things about this, though, it's a little bit different. And the on-the-water lessons I do here, since, I have people with me in the boat, you can't fish tight to the bank. You have to fish farther off the bank. So a lot of the techniques I fish on my on-the-water lessons, I move the boat farther off the bank so where everybody can fish and get some good casts in. So this is a little bit different to me, because coming to this lake with nobody fishing with me, I can get in and fish tight a little bit. I'm sort of looking forward to that a little bit on Saturday. So anyway, guys, that's the roundup here, first day of practice. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully, like I said, by the time practice is over and by the time the tournament's over, I can give you guys a good rundown. You might be able to gather something out of my tournament and practice to help your own fishing. And I really appreciate you guys tuning in. See you.